Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the MORE Listings Mastermind. I'm your host, Robert Weichelt. The MORE Listings Mastermind is a real estate podcast. We meet weekly. It's a weekly mastermind. Power, growth, and momentum. It all starts with this week, MORE Listings Mastermind. When you join the MORE Listings Mastermind, our number one goal is to take your business to the next level. Each week, we provide proven systems to win more listings, generate multiple offers fast, maximize seller profits, and work smarter, not harder. We connect with top agents. We have guests from all over walks of life, all over the country, jumping on, joining us. We had some great guests this year in 25. We connect with top agents, gain competitive edge, and walk away with actionable strategies that you can implement immediately. That's the goal. And the whole thing happens on MORE Listings Mastermind. We meet each Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. You can join us at morenowlistings.com. We are changing the URL. It'll go to the same thing, but it's going to be meetwithrobert.live, and we'll send out information on that in the weeks to come. Now, who am I? My name is Robert Weichelt. I'm the host of the MORE Listings Mastermind Podcast. Since 1986, it'll be 40 years this coming February in the real estate industry. It's crazy how time's flown. I've had the privilege of helping thousands of sellers and countless agents achieve in every type of market. I call it the ups and downs and all arounds of real estate, whether it be default, traditional, and everything in between. As a broker, trainer, mentor, my mission is very simple: empower others to grow, win, and lead with purpose. We help agents that want to take more now listings. I like FSBOs, expireds, and pre-foreclosures. I talk a lot about that. That's my area of expertise. That's what I like. I like working with those folks because they have their hands up. Hi world, I want to sell my home. FSBO. Hi world, I wanted to sell my home, but I didn't price it correctly. And that's the expired. Usually they didn't sell because their home was overpriced. We'll talk about that. We also work a lot with the pre-foreclosure market, the notice of defaults and the notice of trustee sales. I've been in the REO space since the early 90s, the stay alive until 95, the glue stick era for those agents that know how that works. And that's a long time. And so we work with FSBOs and expireds because they have their hands up, but the pre-foreclosures need our help. We don't want to see anyone lose their home. No, never. However, a lot of those folks may not have a choice in the matter. We want to make sure we're there to guide them. I can't tell you how many sellers I talk to that have equity, but they're behind in their payments. So they're like, oh, what do I do? We need to reach out to them as a community. We need to reach out to those folks, not coming from, I want to just take your listing so I can make a commission, but I want to come from contribution. I want to help them not get foreclosed on. Can you imagine? I've done this before, the goosebumps that we get helping people save their home. A high percentage of the sellers that I talk to in the notice of default, notice of trustee world want to keep their home. A very high percentage cannot do that. We want to make sure we help them achieve those goals. In the event they cannot, we want to be a resource. But here's the thing. I do a lot of corporate sellers. Angela and I, we do a lot of REO business. We help corporate sellers achieve the highest and best price too. So what working with notice of default, notice of trustee sales do is they position you for the distressed property that absolutely will be here. So pay attention to that. So anyway, moving along. I always like to start off with this quote. This quote fires me up. Whenever I talk about listings, the only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. That's Vince Lombardi. Great quote, fires me up. Now, let's talk about the 5 habits that'll help you grow your business, your real estate business starting today. Number 1, lead generation, no exceptions. If you're not prospecting at least 90 minutes per day, focus prospecting, meaning block out an hour and a half, 90 minutes on your calendar and bang it out. Get a hold of FSBOs, get a hold of expireds, get a hold of pre-foreclosures, talk to your database, talk to power partners like attorneys, probate, divorce, bankruptcy, power partners like your CPA and financial planners. Reach out to them. Be a resource for your power partners. Number 2, you need to track and measure your numbers. Angela and I talked about that a moment ago. We need to track and measure. If you're calling 100 folks in a day or a week, whatever you're doing, we need to know that is who I'm calling, is it turning into business? Make 100 calls. We get 10 appointments, take 5 listings. I like those numbers. But you need to track and measure because what gets measured, it's improved. So track and measure. Number 3, setting appointments daily. You need to, in my opinion, need to have an appointment a day, whether it be a buyer, seller, an investor. You're looking to grow your team. You want to have an agent conversation. But at the end of the day, you need to have, in my opinion, seller or buyer appointment. If you do not, it might be a red flag in your business, so pay attention to it. When you're prospecting, we need to strive to schedule appointments. Prospecting equals appointments. Appointments equals listings. Number 4, follow up like a pro. You've all heard this multiple times. The fortune is in the follow-up. 80% of the conversions happen in the follow-up. Very few sellers go, oh, I love what you have to say. Where do I sign? Very few. Certainly, there are those sellers that do that. But a lot of sellers need to digest, especially when you're coming at them with something a little bit more unique. And I'm going to share that today, my unique selling proposition. That's what today's call is all about. And number 5, in your skills, role play, study script. Do you think Tom Brady just rolls out of bed and goes out and wins a bunch of Super Bowls? Oh, there's a lot of preparation before that even happens. A lot of behind the scenes stuff. Role play, studying scripts, watching top agent content, and reviewing objections. The best way to get objections is to actually make the calls, make the outreach to sellers, have them give you the objections, and learn how to answer those. Why most sellers or most agents don't contact sellers? Because they're afraid they're going to ask questions. We need to make sure that we're comfortable speaking to sellers at a very high level, and don't take it personal. So many of us go, oh my God, I called a FSBO once, but they were mean to me, so I never did it again. Guess what? You and about 300 others are calling them. And I don't think that's an exaggerated number. I think that's a very clear number. Bottom line, focus on your goals, write your goals down, and make it happen. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Now, what tools do you have in your toolbox? I like My Plus Leads. My Plus Leads provides me FSBOs. Those are owners ready to sell that have their hands up. Expireds and canceled. They still want to sell. In most cases, 78% of sellers that are expired want to relist. The only reason why the seller didn't sell their home is usually because of price. Sellers always want to start at the highest price possible. We know that's not the best way to do it, but that's what most sellers want, so they can negotiate down. FSBOs and expireds are the lowest hanging fruit on the seller tree. And I've already mentioned notice of default, pre-foreclosures. You get pre and post foreclosure opportunities. Okay. Sellers that need your expertise. So Carla's going to put in the chat box the My Plus Leads link. We've got a 14-day free trial. I encourage you, if you've not done so already, sign up for it, 14 days, and start reaching out to those sellers. Okay. Carla put that in the chat box. Another huge tool in the toolbox is the cash offers platform. Now, let me be clear. Cash offers, I did a study. The last 72 listings that I've taken, every last one of them was received a cash offer. Not one of them thought that was the best option for them. 87% of the sellers that I talked to thought that they wanted a cash offer until they saw a cash offer. The cash offer gets you to the table, keeps you in the conversation. Carla's also going to put in the chat box, we've got a 14-day free trial to check it out. Cash offer platform, instant cash offers for your sellers. It's a great way to run a cash offer and have a conversation. Instead of just saying, I've got a buyer and bring your cousin to the house, you actually have a bona fide cash offer you can share. They also have interactive home valuation tools, built-in lead gen and landing pages and marketing tools. It is phenomenal. A great way to attract, engage, and convert sellers that think they want a cash offer. Stay in the conversation, guys. Now, I do a lot of listings. FSBOs, expireds. That's my specialty. That's where I do my best work. I enjoy it. Sure, I get people cussing me out all the time. I don't care. My point is, that's the lowest hanging fruit. Once you can bring that wall, that resistance wall down, then the conversation can get started. The reason why I have this screen up right here, We get the highest, best, and final price for our sellers in 14 days or less. Now, you can see an example here. I've highlighted it and circled it. 14 days on Zillow, 8,981, almost 9,000 views in 14 days, 789 saves. That basically translate into a very popular open house. My point is, are your listings getting that kind of traffic? First, the eyes to the property, to the syndicated websites, then you're going to get this kind of traffic at your open houses. Now, I'm telling you what, when a lot of buyers see a lot of other buyers, they're looking around going, man, everybody wants this home. That's where the magic happens. Driving massive traffic to your websites, just syndicated websites, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, all of them. You're driving massive traffic, massive views, massive saves, number one. Number two, are you driving massive traffic to your open houses? Some people say, oh, I'm doing an all-day open house. I would recommend doing a short window, 12 to 4. Let everybody see each other. I want people bumping into each other in the kitchen. That's going to send a message that everybody wants this home, because it's the only way to build up that urgency. Oh my God, everybody wants what I want. FOMO kicks in. We're going to go into this and how I do this. I'm going to share with you in a bonus session today exactly how I do this. Is your business efficient and effective? Carla and I just spent 2 years traveling the United States. I think, honey, we went to 22 states. That's a lot of states in 2 years. Spent most of our time in Kentucky, where our daughter lives. I mean, I love Kentucky. My point is, we spent 2 years on the road. Yes, I'm a realtor. No, I'm not retired. I'm still doing listings. My point in telling you that, you can take listings from anywhere, even the beach. The photo on the left-hand side, that's me in Cabo at a Brent Cove weekend, if you will. It was awesome. I took 4 listings right from the beach. The only thing you don't see behind that laptop is a nice cold Corona. On my buddy's boat, took a seller appointment. I did it just to see if I could do it. In Kailua, we go every year. My point is your business efficient and effective doing all your seller consultations? Angela, you and I talked about this before. Is your business effective and efficient? If it's not, I would love for you to reach out. Don't just survive in real estate, thrive. Take as many listings as you humanly can handle. I encourage you to book a 30-minute strategy session with me. Use the QR code. Reach out to me. Let's take a look under the hood. Let's find out what's going on in your business so you can take more listings. Here's the big thing. More listings create more listing opportunities from either neighbors or other people that see your homes. I have sellers come to my open houses all the time. And here's what they say. Who's the listing agent? And how do I get this? And they're pointing to the open house traffic. I want this. That's what sellers want. They want to see their homes popular. Everybody wants to be popular, right? Anyway, reach out to me, hit the QR code, schedule a time on my calendar, it goes right to me. It'd be a one-on-one, and we'll take a look under the hood. Sound good? Now stick around. We have a bonus session. I'm going to show you my listing presentation, and I'm going to show you why I use what I use. I'm going to dive in deep and show you exactly the method to the madness, okay? Before we do that, I want to call up my business partner, Tim Yates. Tim Yates is with My Legacy Link. Each Tuesday, 12 p.m. Pacific, we host a listings and legacy workshop. So I would like to introduce my partner and my buddy, my co-host, Tim Yates. Tim Yates, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, my friend. Always happy to be here.
Cool. So let's do this. Let's dive into it. Before I forget, this is Tim's QR code. This is how you take action and reach out to Tim. And what he's going to tell you is going to knock your socks off. Tim, take it away.
Okay, my friend, I'll keep this short. My name is Tim Yates. I founded an estate planning firm. Actually, we're more of a technology firm now, about a decade ago, with my wife, Carrie, who is our firm's lead attorney. And we've really been focusing on disrupting the estate planning industry by working closely with real estate professionals, Robert, as you know. Real estate professionals have a seat at the table, and working with homeowners is really what we're all about. And speaking of homeowners, homeowners, here's some interesting facts. I know on your webinars you have agents from different states and stuff, but this will be a California state specific thing. So here in the state of California, roughly 87.3% of homeowners do not have a living trust. Do not. So that equates to 9 out of 10 people in our agents' databases here in California do not have a living trust. And that is the reason why our court calendar is so backlogged with probate cases and people are losing everything. It's a real tragic thing. And, you know, the truth, though, is homeowners are desperate for affordable, simplified solutions. You know, one of the reasons behind these numbers, having done this for a long time, is just lack of understanding and education. You know, do I need a trust? Do I need a will? What's the difference between them? Why do I need them? And then ultimately the cost. You know, at least here in California, the average cost for a revocable living trust can start at about $2,500 and go up from there. So, you know, we decided to take price out of the equation when we launched our firm. We wanted to make it really affordable for everybody. I didn't want to hear people say this anymore. Tim, thank you for the information. I know I need this, but I can't afford it right now. We just wanted to make it where people are saying, yes, this is what I need, and let's do it right now. So we aren't charging thousands of dollars. In most cases, we're charging hundreds of dollars for the same exact thing. So we just have a really unique business model that makes it work for everybody. And then finally, really what we've done is, you know, obviously working with you, Robert, is we've been able to wrap this up into a system that we call the legacy listing system. And it encompasses obviously estate planning, but we also incorporate family law services, bankruptcy services, business creation, LLCs, deeds, and things like that. And so what it really is, it's a proven all-in-one system to help agents ultimately win more listings and really stand out in their market. And the best part about it, as you know, it's 100% free, and that's what we've got.
So let me just recap this for the agents that maybe missed it. 87.3%, let's call that 9 in 10, do not have a living trust, number one. Number two, what a great tool for us agents. Reach out to our database. 9 in 10 are not going to have the service that they really should have. It's protection, right, in their legacy. It's a way for us agents to get in front of our database, especially during the holidays. We need to reach out to our database and give them tools, not just, hey, do you want to buy or sell? But it's, let me tell you what I'm doing, number one. Number two, it doesn't cost the agents a dime. They just go in, they need to be trained, of course. They need to understand how the process works, and they get compensated on top of that. So it's a revenue share as well as a great follow-up tool. Tim, did I leave anything out?
No, that's it, my friend. I mean, it's nice and simple, and I like keeping things simple that work.
Well, check out Tim's QR code. We do meet on Tuesdays at 12 o'clock. I'd be more than happy to share that information. And Tim, if you can, Carla, or you could drop in the information for our Tuesday workshop. It takes 30 minutes to get agents a little bit more information on it. And it's, I think, a great tool. Tim, thank you for always being here. And Tim will be at the end for any Q&A as well. So we're going to get started with our bonus session for the day. I'm going to share my listing agreement. My listing presentation, but more importantly is I'm going to deep dive and tell you why I say and do what I do. So this is definitely power, growth, and momentum, and it all starts right here. So number one, today's topic, 2026 agent breakthrough. Take more listings and maximize your success. Discover a step-by-step system designed to help you dominate, win more listings, close faster, while keeping more of your commissions. When you work with FSBOs, for example, for sale by owners, they say, just bring me a buyer. We're going to show you ways that you can work with more for sale by owners and what you say to them. We're going to maximize their sales price. They like that. I've never met a seller that said, Robert, if you can give me the least amount of money for my home, I'd appreciate it. Not once. We're going to generate multiple offers, and we're going to do it in 14 days or less. I've always get a seller that says, I want the highest in price, but they always want the shortest amount of time as well, because there's holding cost, there's next step cost, they're selling to go buy here. So they need to get the highest and best price, but they also need it done in the shortest amount of time. We're going to reduce the liability, hassle, and cost. Our open houses are scheduled open houses weekend, 12 to 4 Saturday, 12 to 3 Sunday, super clean, super easy. We're going to show you how the compensation program works for agents. We all know that during the last summer, the summer before last, that we had a commission conversation that a lot of changes are going on. This system that I use is built for that. And we're going to attract hundreds of qualified, pre-approved buyers by our open house strategy session. So let me kind of dive into it. This is my listing presentation. We'll share this with you because I truly, in my heart, feel it's the best way to get the sellers what they desire, the highest and best price in the shortest amount of time. Our goal is the seller's goal. Our goal is to bring sellers multiple offers in 14 days or less by using a transparent online offers platform. In my opinion, studies have shown it's a proven proprietary platform. This is the best way to drive a tremendous amount of fully vetted, pre-approved buyers. Not only are we getting more sellers through our open houses, we're getting a ton of buyers. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of lazy agents coming to our open houses. Oh, just send their buyers to our open houses. There's a lot of opportunity, guys. More eyes equals more offers. Now, keeping in mind that the for sale by owner, they're typically only in, say, Zillow. Once we put that property in the MLS, it populates, as everyone's aware, to every single real estate website on the planet. Bisbo is just in Zillow and maybe Julia. But when we take the listing, we market the property to every single website. And this is the kind of traffic. Now, it might be a little hard for some of you to see it, but I'm going to tell you what it says. For instance, 14 days on the market, this property, we had 9,485 views. That's a big deal. The next property, my record, 14 days, 14,921 views in 14 days. That's a huge number. Here's another example, 14 days, 8981 that I showed earlier. 13 days, 80, what is that, 6223, and that's on a $1.3 million home. That's a lot of traffic. Oh, it doesn't work for my home. Sure it does. You got a 755 and a 1.3. That's the sweet spot. You got to remember, the bigger the buyer pool, the better this works. Now, I'm not saying don't take lower listings or upper listings, but I'm just letting you know the price range where this works phenomenal, 750 to 1.5 in that range. With that said, look at this traffic. This is just one of our open houses, one of our partners did in Temecula. He had 884 people through the doors. That's crazy numbers. Look at the opportunities, more listing opportunities, more buyer opportunities, more investors. I cannot tell you how many investors, everyone that's ever taken a listing, your phone blows up. I'm an investor. Can I write an offer? Can you represent me and all? It's amazing. Starts with the listings and everything comes into place. Call it the field of dreams. You build it, it will come. Right? Remember, when those buyers are in line, they're looking at it. Look at all these people that want the same thing I do. When buyers compete, sellers win. We've basically put together an online bidding strategy where the offers are all transparent. Because what happens is so many times buyers are writing these offers. They have 10, 15, 20 highest and best and final blind offers. And then the agent that gets accepted, the buyer that gets accepted, gets the call from the listing agent. Here's how it goes. Congratulations, your buyer, the seller has accepted your buyer. The buyer agent calls the buyer and says, congratulations, the seller has chosen your offer. The two things that happen instantaneously. Number one, oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh my God, I overpaid. Just like that. Because of the transparency, we eliminate buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse is the killer of a lot of escrows. If we can eliminate buyer's remorse, that means we're eliminating buyers trying to renegotiate with repairs or just getting a price reduction because they feel like they overpaid. With our platform, it's fully transparent and it's just fantastic. Every single buyer that I can remember loved it. They love it. And when you explain how this process works, when you're checking them into an open house, a light bulb goes off, goes, we've been outbid by multiple homes and don't know how much we are outbid by. Here's what happens. Most buyers, had I known, I would have been willing to pay that, because that's what happens when the property closes. I can guarantee that buyer is tracking it. They saved it. They're getting reminders. When it closes, they get a reminder that says, wait a second, had I known that was the sales price, I would have paid more. Now nobody has to worry about that. Now here's the strategy, and here's how it works. If you price a property high, let's just be honest, you're going to attract less buyers. That's it. Most sellers want to price their home absolutely at the top and negotiate down to meet the buyer. I don't think that's a very good strategy. Sure, if you price it at market, you're going to attract more buyers. But when you price it below market, I'm not saying ridiculously low. I'm saying strategically low. You're going to get maximum buyers, and therefore you're going to get a bidding war. Because remember, guys, pricing and marketing, here's the results. Let me give you an example of a property. We had 12 offers on a $755,000 property, fully transparent, Jacqueline, then Jason, then Jacqueline, and then Connor. I still don't know why buyers outbid themselves, but they did. But it didn't matter because Susan came back in transparently and outbid Connor, and then Carmela basically cleared the field. We could have had 5, 6, 7 more offers, but Kamala said, I'm not having it. I want to get this property. But I don't care. The number one goal for the seller is to get the highest and best price in the shortest amount of time. What we do is we send a note saying, thank you very much for submitting your offer. Now is the time to submit your RPA. No RPAs are submitted. We get the buyers pre-approved. We have proof of funds, so we know exactly everything about the buyer. Then they get activated to take an offer and their number strategically on the platform. Fully transparent, and it's fantastic. So we've got a ton of success. Sellers want to know that they're not the first one. Most of the times, they don't understand what this process is. They may have heard of it, but they've never seen it. 41 offers here, 37 offers here, 21 offers here. Now, let's be clear. Depending on the sales price, depending on the buyer pool, the more offers you'll get. Here's our strategic pricing, and this is where I need to really spend some time with the sellers, because this is usually when you lose them. If you don't know how to explain it properly, you could really lose that seller. They go, oh my God, I could never sell my house for that amount. Seller reserves the right to accept, counter, reject any offer. Our goal price on this one is $775. Now, just remember, the goal price is usually the seller's price that they really think that they want to get. I typically start with the conversation, and all my listings are done via Zoom. The conversation starts with, what do you think your home's worth? If they 775 and I say, well, you know what? That's actually a pretty accurate number. A lot of times I get a seller that thinks their home's worth $1 million and it's only worth 800. That's where the conversation needs to be done. You need to come to a price and then take it from there. Now, here's our strategy and how we drive the most amount of offers in the shortest amount of time. This is just an example. Using this Friday. Let's say I took a listing today, which I certainly will be doing that as soon as we're done with this call. I will be prospecting FSBOs expired and pre-foreclosure. Let's say we start on Friday. We get the marketing agreement, the RLA, the listing agreement. We do it for 14 days. We go live in the MLS Monday, no showings until Saturday and Sunday. We want to build up that buyer pool. We want people bumping into each other in the kitchen. We do Saturday the 27th in this case. Now, this is just an example. Yes, New Year's Eve is the 31st, and you never want to end anything on a holiday. But we'll do Saturday 12 to 4, Sunday 12 to 3, by appointment only showings, by the way. We want to make sure that everybody, 15-minute increments, we want them to see each other. And then we give the buyers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday by 7 p.m. to place their transparent offer. Remember, these buyers are fully vetted, proof of funds, pre-approval. We know everything about them. Now we're just giving them the chance to submit their price. We want to get them under contract Friday, latest. We want the contract to be done into escrow before the buyers go into the weekend. We want to wrap it up Friday by the end of the day. And we typically will close, in this example, January 29th, which typically is 27, 28 days. So that's the 14-day system. Here's why they need to use it. I typically, when I talk to for sale by owners, let me give you an example. For sale by owner, if I was to bring you an offer, the price was acceptable. Are you willing to pay the amount that I'm offering? I like to say X amount of dollars. And that's all they end up paying, because the platform allows the buyer to pay for their own agent. All calculated into the offer plus compensation, seller concessions to the buyer agent. It's all done transparently. And again, guys, it's all done in 14 days or less. Now, I explained this to you as an agent. Seller conversation's a little bit different than that, than the features and benefits for the seller. But I wanted you to get a clear understanding of what the 14-day offers platform is entails, why it works, what we do, and if it's something you want to take a look at, I'll certainly give you that opportunity. But at the end of the day, this is the best choice for sellers, period. I've been in the business a long time and I've seen a lot of things. I worked a lot of auction style marketing with the banks back in the 90s, back in the 2000s, auction.com, Hudson and Marshall, FHA, HUD foreclosures are all done through an auction site. The IRS uses an auction site, an auction style. This is an online offers process, but they use an auction style marketing and mentality. So I encourage you to certainly reach out. We meet every week, the MORE Listings Mastermind. These are the kind of things that we talk about each and every week. So I encourage you to reach out to me. I always want to start off with saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. You can join us for our next episode Wednesday. We're starting back up in January 7th. And every Wednesday after that, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, you can go to morenowlistings.com. We will be changing the URL to meet with Robert.live. And we'll go ahead and put that out there. Both of them go to the same place. So with that said, I encourage you, if you want to take more listings and maximize your success in 2026, book your 30-minute strategy session. That's what's next. So with that said, I want to thank you all for being on today. And we'll do a Q&A after this when I stop the recording, because we want to dive deep into the Q&A. So with that said, this is Robert Weichelt for another episode of the MORE Listings Mastermind, and we'll see you in escrow.